Hey, this is Rabbi Patrick from Rabbi Son. Javon is out on the road again, so no new recording this week. Instead, here's a best of Rabbi Son montage. Hope you enjoy. The question is, what are we doing here? So everyone here, you know me as Rabbi Patrick, the founder of Darshan Yeshiva, the Punk Torah Network, co-founder of Pluralistic Rabbinical Seminary. But now you're getting a taste of what my actual life is like, and being here with our son Javon, who has opinions on everything in a good way, no shade. And you're here in our office too. We just want to do something different. You know, Darshan Yeshiva, you've had all of this sort of written stuff. I've done some podcast stuff, but I've never done something like this, and we've never done something like this. And so we just wanted to do something different for you and see how it goes. So if you like it, make sure to like, share, subscribe. All of that good stuff. And the financial support is greatly appreciated. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to independent Jewish spirituality online. You can also just become a student at Darshan Yeshiva. So you can give an organization money, but it's better to receive than to give. Or I think it's actually probably the other way around. Yeah, it's the other way around. But you know what we mean. So we definitely want your support. Become a student, and that way you get the podcast. And you get really cool Jewish content and classes and all that. So that's what we're doing here. So obviously, you might notice a little something here. I mean, let's call it what it is. So, Javon, we adopted you as of this recording 2.5 years ago.
Anything? I remember.
You say so. Does it feel like it was shorter or longer?
I feel like it's long.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long does it feel like you've been here?
I don't even know. I just feel like I was here.
Like just the stork dropped you off.
Exactly.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
There had to have been kind of a moment when you were first kind of learning about us. You probably didn't know this was going to be part of it. But was there a moment for you when you were kind of reading about us, because you had a little bio type thing on us, where you were just like, oh, they do that?
I don't know. I remember the cats.
You remember the cats? Okay. What was it about the cats that you remember?
I don't know. I remember them in the little book. That's like and then I did read about the different trips I took, but I mainly remember the cats.
Really? So yeah, the cats were like the standout thing for you.
Yeah, that's when I think about the book. That's the first.
Yeah,
the cat.
So this was the adoption book that we had put together for you, so that you could learn about us and all of that. But okay, so it was the cats.
Yeah, that's
the cats and the trips.
Main thing I remember.
So what about the trips?
I just remember there were trips. But it's named the cats. I don't know. I don't know.
That's awesome. Is it okay for people to have joy when they're also thinking about darkness, and when there's this kind of shadow that's cast on a holiday or on a special moment of some kind? You have to seek out joy anyway. That life is not always easy, but that if you can have some kind of gratitude for your life and gratitude for your very existence in existence, that's at least some kind of place to start. The birthday may not be as glorious because a friend or family member passed away, or, our high holidays maybe and Sukkot aren't quite as joyous because we're still thinking about hostages who are being held, or the anniversary of the death of so many people. But the human spirit continues.
It is the thing that happens. It is the thing we know is going to happen. When, where, what time, and how is a mystery. You can't keep dragging yourself down from a natural function of life. Yes, it's sad, but you can't let that, override, your life.
We have an expression when we hear that someone has died, and it goes, Baruch Dayan Ha'emet, which means blessed is the true judge. It's an expression that is stating something to the effect of, let's remember that life is life, right? We go through life and we go through the motions, not thinking that all of these things can change, the blink of an eye. Life, gives and life takes. It's sort of like a snapping back into reality. The Torah mentions women wearing nose rings several times. Were these worn on the wing of the nose or the septum? I think that actually what this user fluffy white thing has to say is pretty true. Until someone invents a time machine, we'll probably never know, but it may be either or both. I suspect that depending on the culture that you were in, it would have either been on the wing or like a septum, probably more likely the wing. Look at other Middle Eastern peoples, like they said, One of the things I like about the fact that we have nose rings in Judaism is that it's an absolute repudiation of a really stupid idea, which is that you can't have piercings. We've always had them. Earrings in the Torah, it's a way in which enslaved people were branded. There are some rabbis that they will say, well, that's why we don't do piercings anymore, because you wouldn't want to wear something that an enslaved person would. We have a thing that it is a sin to cause unnecessary harm to yourself. But the idea with tattooing is that you don't have piercings or markings related to death. So it's actually about gashes. So self-flagellation, things that you would have done, self-mutilation as part of ancient mourning practices. I think that a lot of the anti-tattooing stuff, it's not just the halakhic, it's not just the religious legal aspect, but it's the cultural memory of the Holocaust and being forcibly tattooed.
People want to take something that was harmful and they want to turn it into something else. I think that should be allowed, and not, that constant, making them feel bad, about things that happened in the past. You can't shackle yourself down by, what the other generation wants to do. That's not how society progresses.
Spoken like a true young person. It's painful history, and you don't want people doing something that was forced upon others. It just brings up a lot. But, I don't think...
It's not your life.
Yeah, it's not your life. And then the other thing I was going to say is don't make a halakhic, don't make a Jewish legal excuse for something that is like an emotional tie. In other words, if you're, a person who's eating a BLT while judging someone for getting a tattoo, okay, well, take a look at yourself there, friend.
Speaking for, the youth.
Okay, as you do.
As I do. I think everybody should mind their business, personally.
Yeah.
Like, if something bothers you, then it just bothers you. You don't need to voice that. You can't project your trauma on someone else.
Right.
Because that's, first of all, it's just like, wow, go to therapy, or take a walk in the woods and really do some self-reflecting.
That's called hitbededut. But to answer Truxell's question, yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, probably in, the wing.
Yep. Or just do both.
Yeah.
Holiday. Yeah. Luigi Mangione.
Right.
And everyone's fawning. The media also helping with the elevation of these people.
Right.
And then the dramatization when it comes to a media form, and they get a hot actor to play it, and they make it all this racy.
Glorify these people on some level.
Yeah, and it's no, these people did bad thing. They literally kill people, and you're trying to make them this hot. I get sales, but people died. I would get if you wanted to pick the brain a little bit to why did you do this?
Oh, so there's an intrigue element.
Yeah, I would be oh yeah, you're trying to see, and if they write you back, but then you taking pictures in negligee and all trying to be all frisky. It's just are you okay?
Is it a certain kind of person that is attracted to this kind of people who do these terrible things? Trauma stuff, I think, maybe plays into this. Human beings kind of wrestle with their own darkness, trying to reconcile, maybe they actually are a good person. And if they're a good person, then maybe I'm a good person, even though I have terrible thoughts. Yaakov wrestling with the angel at night. There's sort of this dark night of the soul where he has to sort of learn how to not be that person anymore. Hopefully for these women who are attracted to these guys, maybe they can have something like that too. You had a question about these things, about yarmulkes.
Yeah, the little hats.
Okay.
What do they mean?
Yarmulke is Yiddish, kippah, Hebrew. So just a head covering. The idea comes from the Talmud. One does not pray unless their head is covered. So if you're going to say 100 blessings in a day, and some of those blessings are going to be spontaneous, it would be pretty good for you to have your head covered. I think personally that the kippah holds a different kind of significance, which is how sometimes cultures will take tools of oppression and turn them around on people and make it part of their practice. So throughout history, Jews have been forced to wear something to signify that they are Jewish, right? So Holocaust, it's the yellow star, right? In some cultures, it was wearing a hat.
Oh, but who's saying that 100 times a day?
The Jews are. 100 blessings a day.
And do you say 100 blessings a day?
I try to.
that empty out.
I'm not always effective at it, but I do the
Okay.
best I can. The idea is that there are certain times of day, there are certain moments that occur where you would want to say a blessing. So you eat a particular food, there's a prayer for that food. You see a rainbow, there's a particular one for that. If you have a new moment, it's called Shehekianu, you would say Shehekianu. And you're going to start the prayer with Baruch Atah Adonai, da-da-da-da-da. So best to be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that's about. Thank you to our sponsors at Darshan Yeshiva for making this content possible. Darshan Yeshiva provides beginner-level online Jewish learning, including the very popular Conversion to Judaism program, with sponsoring rabbis and students all over the world. Start your Jewish journey any place, anywhere, and anytime with our conservative, reform, reconstructionist, Jewish renewal, humanistic, and post-denominational rabbi mentors. Become the Jew you always wanted to be with Darshan Yeshiva.